Hawkins here with Chickenhawkfarmstead, and back today working on this shipping container. Got to get it ready. Trying to get it ready for storage of all the stuff I've been buying lately out of the storage lockers, so I can get it better organized and get it out of the house. But the first thing is I need power in this shipping container here. So the way I'm going to solve that problem is I really didn't want to do any cutting on this thing, but kind of gonna have to. So about halfway up is where I plan on doing my cut. I didn't want to do it at the top because if I need to get more wires in there, it's gonna be a pain. Didn't want to do it too low because then you bend it over, mess with it, plus more things can get in a hole that's low, which I'm going to try to seal the hole up somewhat. But all I'm planning on doing is doing a cut down, over, and back up. That way at the top, and it's going to kind of fold out like this. And I can run my extension cord in there, any other wires that I need, because eventually if I try to work out of here and get a computer and everything in here, I'm going to have to run a Cat 5 from my router in here to the computer, because these things block a lot of signal, so won't be any good for trying to do that, especially if I'm trying to list out of here. It's going to be easier if I have some kind of router or something like that in there that's wired to the outside, or run an antenna out even to the top. So got the extension cord already ran out, and I'm not going to be drawing that much power, so one extension cord's more than enough. And we got our grinder there with a cutting wheel on it. So I'm gonna get to this, just grind that little spot out real quick, or cut it out I guess, and we'll get to doing that. Today I'm also planning on laying a couple pieces of flooring. See how I'm just cutting it. I didn't do, when I ordered this thing, the exact measurements of the inside. Of course you don't find, you just know they're 8 foot by like 8 foot tall, 20 feet long. Well, those are the outside dimensions from what I pretty much determined, because inside I got pieces of plywood. I was like, man, I'll throw the plywood down, this is gonna be great, it'd be easy. Nope. Inside I guess is about 7.5, so I'm gonna have to, I'll know when I start cutting those, so I'm just gonna have to do one cut on all those to lay them down. But shouldn't be bad. Make the flooring a little bit nicer, and I'm gonna run some lights in there. I got an idea of how to do that, and hopefully it works out. So all right, we'll be back in just a minute, and hopefully this hole will be done. All right, well, that went good. You can see this hole is not very big, so I think it's gonna be plenty big for the extension cord and any other wires I'm gonna get in and out. So I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna tap this out. Like I said, this is gonna fold up. At least that's the plan. So let's get to all right, so you can see got our extension cord in here. Yeah, that took a little bit more hammering than I thought. You can kind of see how thick the metal is. I mean, it's not terribly thick, but what is that, 1/8 of an inch at least. So yeah, it took a little more beating and prying than I thought it would take, but that's good. It means this thing's a little bit better shape. And now along here, I would suggest putting some kind of foam or tape or anything like that. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put, got that Gorilla Tape, I'm going to put Gorilla Tape around this, and then probably just go ahead and tape the hole up. And that's it for now, because like I said, I plan on, I don't know how much this I'm going to pull in, pull out, all that kind of stuff. So nothing's permanent yet. We're still just getting the setup. As you can see, it's got some stuff in here. I got to move some stuff around. We are going to lay, or I am going to lay this down. I'm just going to turn it the other way, and I got to cut probably 3 or 4 inches off of each of these sheets. This stuff here is a little bit nicer, but it's super thin, easy to work with. It's usually referred to as like Luan. I think it's like $14 a sheet though. And then I found this plywood, and it's, what's that, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, something like that. Pretty light, easy to work with too. But this was $7 a sheet. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go with the rest of the place with that. So I'll do my first two because it's going to be more of my working area with the nicer loo on, and then the rest of it's just going to be plywood. And I did go ahead and get one of these, and see that's 8 foot. You can see how it's bent. So even the ceiling is just shy of what they say, but it'll be all good. We'll just cut that a little bit, and eventually I might put this pretty much along all the walls, so we'll have some kind of insulation. I don't know, it depends on how much I'm in here in the winter, how much I'm worried about insulating and stuff. The outside, I'm thinking about painting white, so the summertime, you know, it'll hopefully reflect more heat, or, you know, we'll see. But this is also, so when I'm in here working, the plan is to have one door all the way open, and then there's a propane tank there. Got that with the little heating head. And I'll just put that kind of in front of the door to block it, because that stuff's really light and easy to move, and just have that little heater going. But like I said, the door will be open, and that just kind of blocks some of the wind. And I have one of the pallets I bought. I get a bunch of what are they? The carbon monoxide detectors. So I'll definitely, don't think I need it, but if you got them, why not, right? So I'm gonna hook that up just in case. Better safe than sorry on some of this stuff. So all right, I'm gonna get back to it, and like I said, I gotta move some stuff around and tape that hole up, and then get these boards cut. All right. Yeah, I was gonna show this thing off real quick. This little clamps are a pretty cool little tool, so you can make a straight line, because I'm terrible at cutting a straight line with a circular saw. So it gives you like a guide to go against. It just kind of clamps on both sides, and yeah, you just run your saw right along it. And we need to cut 4 inches off this thing. So what I did is, between the outside of this and the blade itself is 1 inch. So I just measured 5 inches over here, over there, to make sure we were straight. We should be good. So we give this a cut. I went ahead and do this board first, because this is the cheap stuff. So if I mess it up too much, I won't feel bad about getting another one. So yeah, let's see what happens. As you can see, even with this handy thing, I still managed to screw it up, because at some point I pushed down too much, and I saw underneath there. So don't do that. But let's see if this fits now. All right, let's pop it in, or turn it, and see what happens. That's off. That stuff to sweep up later. Turn it. It looks like yeah, 4 inches is pretty much exact. So that's a little too snug. So we'll do 4 1/4 on the next, or take off a quarter more on this, and then alright, well, that didn't look all that bad. It is a little snugger than I like. We're gonna take another 1/4 inch off of it, and the next time, the next two, let's do 4 inches and a quarter, well, 5 1/4 total, for that gap or whatever for the blade, and we should be good just to drop them in. All right, get to it, and we'll be right back and see how it looks. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I did 4 1/4, so it was 5 1/4 total. Of course, I trimmed off, but yeah, everything's laying in there. That's a little warped where I was storing it in there, I guess, but it'll be fine. You're probably wondering if I'm gonna nail it down or tack it down or anything. I'm not going to. Not worried about it, because trust me, there'll always be enough stuff on top of it that this won't go anywhere. I on this seam here, if I do have an issue with that, I might end up tacking it down. But it'll be some staples and an air gun, or just a staple gun possibly, or some little finishing nails with a hammer, whatever I got handy at the time. But you know, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just a floor covering. So, and I am happy these two actually match up pretty good. I would like to do the rest of it, but I already got all this stuff in here, and I'm just kind of like, why? I'm not really worried about it. If I actually get to the point where I get this cleared out again or something like that, or when I get my next one, I'll definitely go ahead and put flooring on the whole thing. But I just want mainly my work surface covered in a different floor. And so if the kids are in here and they drop something, if there is any kind of bad chemicals in this stuff, they're not going to be really exposed to it. That's the main thing. But yeah. And might even paint this one day, paint it white or something. Not really that worried about it, like I said. So time to start moving some stuff back in here in a minute. But first, some lighting. And I'll go over what I'm thinking for the lighting solution, because we are going to have our power there. Probably mount a power strip right here. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to have a cord go up, and the lighting's going to be ran down the center of this thing. And in my head right now, what I'm thinking is we have these anchor points. You can see they're every 4 feet, maybe, something like that, running down on both sides. They also have them on the floor if you're curious about that. But what I'm planning on doing up there is I'm going to run, since I got quite a few ratchet straps, for now I'm going to run some ratchet straps across there. And then run 550 cord down the center. And I'm just going to tack my lights to that 550 cord. The lights I have, let me show you those real quick. Okay, here are the lights I got. They look like kind of like a fluorescent light, but they're LED. They're like 25 watts a piece. There's the connector there. And you can actually daisy chain these together. The pack I got, you can either butt them all together, so they're all like touching. Come with that adapter. It's a little short adapter like this. It's got a 6-inch adapter, and I think I got an 18-inch adapter, plus each light came with its own power switch, so you can hook them up all individually if you wanted to. So yeah, I got these off Amazon. I'll put the link below to where I got mine, and I also did a video talking about these, kind of showing the different ones more in depth of how they all work. If that doesn't work, there's a bunch of different sellers that sell these same kind of lights. The big thing is, like if you get a 6-pack, some of them might only come with 3 of the toggle switches or something like that. The pack I ended up getting actually had 1-for-1 for each piece. So that's what I wanted, because you know there was a chance I was going to hook all these up in different spots independently. And yeah, whenever I find these on sale, I buy another one. I probably got 15 of these things, if not more, because yeah, they're awesome. I got a bunch in the garage, and it just made the garage so much more useful with all that light. I put them in my basement, same thing. They're great for work lights if you're working outside. All you need is take that, you know, plug it in and throw it underneath the hood, or if you're working, you need to shine on something or stick it somewhere. Yeah. And if you're a reseller, these are great for a photo booth, I think. I got, you know, some, was it foam board? And I throw one of these, do a little triangle thing with my foam board, and throw this on top like that, and lights up the product just great. So anyways, I'm gonna get to throwing this up, see if I can get this light solution, try and get all this done before dark. All right, went with a slightly different idea. Got our power switch, and yeah, I'm at it high, just so I needed this to reach, so that's on. So that's going to be our switch to turn our lights on and on. Did the ratchet strap across here, and I ended up doing one in the very back, the last hook, and I was able to take another one instead of doing a 550 cord and trying to get it tight. Another ratchet strap down the center. Also, these little lights ended up being long enough. I used 4 of them, and as you can see, I used the little butt connectors instead of like a 6-inch or whatever in between, and that's going to give me constant light all the way down this bar and really light this entire thing up. Eventually I might end up doing 2 of these, I don't know. We'll see. The big thing is if I'm trying to dig in a tote something over here, or get something over here, am I going to be blocking that much of the light that I can't see what's in front of me? Yeah, so that's one of the big things that I'm kind of worried about. So if I had 2 bars, 1 on each side, might be a little better. But yeah, that's hooked up. So once I open up, all I gotta do is reach up here to the switch, and presto, we have light and a good amount of light. So that's really nice. Probably run another extension cord from there coming down, or actually I got some 3-way splitters. Just go ahead and put a 3-way splitter on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and tape up the rest of this for now and close it up so nothing comes in. We don't get any moisture really any in or out. And I got plenty of cord down there, which I'm going to roll that up and stick it to the wall. Another thing I think that's going to be really friendly to hanging stuff and whatnot is magnets in here. Seeing that the walls are all metal, seems like it would be a good idea to use a lot of magnets. So that's going to be my plan, like that for now. I don't have any of the magnets on me. I just got that hung up there with duct tape, which it works, but I got a feeling with it's going to get moisture in it and it's going to fail. So I'm going to end up pulling that down and just take 2 big block square magnets that you can actually get out of the Harbor Freight little magnetic tool holders. They used to be free with a purchase or whatever there for a long time. So I got a bunch of them. They go on sale for $2 or $3. But if you cut those open and pry the magnets out, they got, I think it's 4 or 5 magnets that are like 1/2 inch by 2 inches or something, and those work perfect. And I mean, they're nice strong magnets, but you put a little epoxy on there, glue it back to whatever you want to stick to metal. They're great for toolboxes in this. I'll link to I got a video from the guy over at struggle.net, his YouTube channel, where he does a lot of where he tore one apart, kind of shows you how to pry them all out or whatever. So all right, I think that's it for today. I'm just gonna load this thing back up. Yeah, floors went in easy. The lights went in pretty easy. And yeah, these hooks give me all kinds of ideas. I said there's hooks down there and up here. Because a lot of times, like stuff like this, I mean, that stuff's dangerous. It falls and everything else. So might end up putting, you know, running a strap from there to there, and then a strap across the center there, 1, maybe 2 straps, and it'll keep it against the wall, so I can kind of slide stuff back behind there, and those won't, you know, like with those bed rails or anything, kind of tall poles, anything like that, it's not going to be falling over all over the place in here. So all right, well, that's, like I said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to get everything moved back in before it gets dark. Probably go ahead and put my heater head on there, and that'll be it. If you want to keep up with this or everything else I'm doing around here, from fixing stuff, growing stuff, and selling stuff, yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great one.